Look who it is on a Sunday morning.
Hey, what's up?
As energetic as he'll ever be, fresh off a dominating 56-9 victory by the Indiana Hoosiers over the Kennesaw State Owls. Brad, before we get into that, just quickly, how you feeling this morning? I'm noticing the sunglasses inside.
Who said I'm clearly outside based on my background. And yeah, no, I'm feeling good. You know, I'm a little tired, but a little sore throat, but I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine.
Well,
I got my
obviously you're
coffee
tired.
here. I'm ready to go.
It was being a noon kick. Obviously, you had a long time to celebrate after that victory.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
where did you go out to watch the game? What'd you end up doing?
So that morning I actually had to pass a state exam for business. And right after that, turned on the game in my room, in my apartment, watched it there, and then, ripped Muskie Fest in Chicago right after
Oh,
the
wow.
dub. So yeah, it was a good time.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. Did you find yourself sitting and freaking out at the game like I was, or were you a little bit more calm as it was happening, as it was playing out?
I would say the second quarter, I was kind of freaking out at the defense a little bit, but besides that, and a couple drops, Surratt, EJ, I saw those. I'd freak out. I freaked out at those. Everything else was fine for me, honestly. Everyone looked good. We talked about, the progression that they need to make from week 1 to week 2. I think they answered the call for the most part. Obviously, it's not, it doesn't feel what it was last year. I think I'm just need to call that out right now. And I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. You're seeing a lot of other teams kind of have the same sort of struggles early on. We saw LSU last night only beat Louisiana Tech by, 17 points. Clemson had a big scare last night against Troy.
Penn State was up 10 at half.
Penn State was only up 10 at half. I think there was another, who's the number 4 ranked team?
Florida lost.
Florida lost with Byron Brown being out for the first half, which was pretty crazy to think about. That they were able to pull that off. And then yeah, Georgia only beat Austin Peay by 22 yesterday. So it's like, they're there's no reason to panic about anything. These are, at the end of the day, we got to remember, as good as they looked last year, and then they looked really professional in the sense of their execution level last year. And I think they had to, because they didn't have as much talent as this team currently has, right? And I just think, there's just no reason to panic. This team's fine. They're going to progress, get better. And I think it's okay that they don't feel like last year's team is kind of my point. I think that's a fine thing. They're their own group. I think their potential is a lot higher than last year's team. And I think you're going to continue seeing progression as the weeks go on with this team. That's my biggest takeaway from the Kennesaw State game.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point. I think a lot of people, especially after the ODU game, wanted to make the parallels between this team and last year's team. And while there are a lot of parallels, including a lot of very similar faces, they're two completely different teams. Like, you start with the quarterback. Like, Curtis Rourke was married. He's two-time conference player of the year, established but underrated, knew the things he was good at, didn't have this like freakish arm talent, knew he wasn't going to be able to get out of the pocket and make plays. And so he really had to hone in on like executing the offense. Juxtapose that with Fernando Mendoza, who's getting not just first round buzz, but 1-1 buzz. And you see all the physical tools he has to bring to the offense. You look at what they did with the offensive line. They're talking about upgrades in every spot. But the unit last year was it's just a completely different feeling team. And to want to shoehorn this team into that one and to look at last year's game versus, say, Western Illinois and be like, well, we didn't look as clean against Kennesaw State as the team did against Western Illinois. Well, Western Illinois is a significantly worse team than Kennesaw State. Like, the kid who Kennesaw State ended up running out at quarterback, Amari Odom, and we only saw Dexter Williams for like 2 series. That dude was kind of electric. Like he didn't really know what he was doing, but the athletic tools were there. Like he was making some plays. But like that Kennesaw State team, especially on the defensive line, like night and day, just not even close to what that Western Illinois game was. And the fact that Indiana was able to put up 56 points, 49 with the first team offense, and you could argue it probably should have been in the 60s. I'm with you. Like there was a lot of people nervous yesterday. I kind of alluded to it in my preview video, but there was the tweet about like, oh, this is going to be like a 7-5, 6-6 team, and just I understand the frustration. Like I tweeted out the Drewski like throwing the chair in the dugout video after the 4th down play. So like I get the frustration, but like there's so much talent on this team. And you saw what happens when they're able to just like snap their finger and flip it on a dime. And yeah, I have the same takeaway as you. Is like I'm not worried about this team at all.
Yeah, my mic stopped working during that during that whole spiel. So I had to take it away. But yeah, I think Pitt Hoosier makes a really good point here in the chat. He said that this game go pretty much just like the Charlotte game last year. And I think when previewing this game, we compared this game to the Charlotte game going into, and I'm gonna go a step forward, and like if you want a green flag, I'd say this Kennesaw State game went way better than the Charlotte game. I will probably say Charlotte is a lot better of a team than Kennesaw State. So that's probably
Charlotte won the sack battle last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that's probably missing from the whole thing, and probably why it doesn't feel, is because I think we expected the defense to be a little dominant. You know, looking at 271 yards from Kennesaw State, as crazy as it sounds, I feel like that's a little high, right?
No, I'm with you. But if you look at the way they started the game, it was like the first 3 possessions they didn't have a first down.
Yeah, Kamara's a lot of that I think was but we're kind of expecting them to be at like 4 sacks by now, you know.
Yeah,
it might just be
expectation versus reality. I get it.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's. I'm not saying it's an issue, you know. I'm not saying the defense is bad. I'm just saying, you know, I think we expected them to be just a little bit more dominant and take a step up from what they were last year. And I think maybe we underestimated the loss of CJ West, and to that point, maybe this team, you know. Maybe the defense's ceiling is maybe just being just as good, if not just marginally better than they were last year, instead of not leaps and bounds like maybe what we were expecting. And, you know, that's fine. It's still good enough to get to the playoff. You know, this is still a playoff caliber team. They are fully capable of making it back despite everything that we've seen so far. And yeah, they're able to move the ball. 2 straight games of 300 rushing yards. I'm not sure. I don't know if they came out with some graphic, but that has to be the first time in school history that's happened.
No, first time since 2016. Okay. Jordan Howard.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I had a point. Oh, about the defense. I think I do, and wrap this into a couple different points. I'm going on Mark Rogers' show tomorrow night to talk about why I'm not embarrassed about Indiana's non-conference schedule, and it's for the reasons like this. Like we're looking at a guy, and I'm gonna single him out only because I know he came from a different defense in Jose Wheeler, where the defensive system he played in at Western Kentucky was very horizontal. The defensive tackles were tasked with moving side to side, pretty much like holding gaps, things like that, versus this Brian Haynes defense is attacking, you're going forward. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe CJ West came from the same style of defense from Kent State. And so the adjustment period into the Brian Haynes defense was a lot smoother. And so the fact that Indiana has these 3 non-conference games where they can have like make mistakes and it not cost them on the scoreboard, and you give somebody like Wheeler, guys like Ratcliffe, and the new guys in the interior the opportunity to play into the defense and learn into it and grow into it a little bit, like those game reps. And that's why the starters were in when the score was 49-9 or 42-9 or whatever the score, 40, like it was 49-9. And then Mike Mendoza takes that hit out of bounds and they take the starters out. But like these dudes haven't played together and they need the game reps. Like, so I just think that part of the reason why everyone's so frustrated is because given the level of talent on the field, we know there's another level this team can get to. And when you're watching a team, say like Oregon, who looked pretty damn good over the weekend, and you start to think like we have to go there and play them, obviously the level of execution during parts of this game aren't going to be good enough to beat the upper echelon teams in college football. Now, that being said,
and I think that's what's the frustrating thing is that we haven't seen like it hasn't been very clear where it's like, oh, okay, I think we've arrived at Penn State. I guess that really will just come down to because, like, we were feeling pretty good going into Notre Dame last year, and then reality struck us pretty hard. And
well, I want to say for anyone who is
so it's like a pointless kind of thing to freak out about because it's like, okay, if they did show it, it still comes down to them showing up September 20th in Bloomington against Illinois. No matter what, it just comes down to that. And
I was gonna say, if anyone wants to see how we react as losers, go check out the Sigs Inside episode after that game. We took it on the chin. It was good. Will Wheeler says Fernando is looking so much more comfortable, and Alberto is the backup making solid tosses too. Happy to see the depth there. Hopefully, we can keep more for the rest of the year. Yeah, Brian P. Lawton's got to work some damn magic in this courtroom on Wednesday because we need Lewis more. We absolutely need Lewis more.
100%. And yeah, to call out Mendoza, I think I tweeted about it. Just seeing Mendoza throw that back shoulder to Charlie Becker, who, by the way, looked pretty athletic in that little back shoulder throw.
Charlie Becker looked great. I pop for any Charlie Becker
but that's
involvement
the future.
in the
We're not expecting anything from Charlie Becker this year. He was getting some snaps out there with the
he's involved, dude.
Real low. So yeah, 80 gods around. He's looking good, and he had that Lane Kiffin offer way back in the day. So I know he's got the few good stamps of approval around the country, and yeah, kind of good to see him get his first touchdown. Those two getting their first touchdowns, I think, is just a great sign that they're able to execute probably on what was most likely Kennesaw State's ones. Being able to score like that, it's just a really good sign.
Yep. Did you think it was weird we had the first team offensive line in on the touchdown throw with the second team skill and Alberto in there?
No. I think the O-line needs to be in there as much as possible, to be honest. Yeah, same sentiment to the D-line. Those guys just need to get more physical. I mean, there was another turnover on downs yesterday, so that's like another one of those bad signs. It just doesn't. Not every game is going to be Nebraska. I think that's another reality. Like I'd say we dominate teams, but I'd say things really went our way a lot last year, a lot, and to the point where it's like, will that, turnover margin continue? And that's like an analytic that people use to project whether a team's going to continue success or kind of plateau or even decline, is kind of looking at what their turnover margin was. And Indiana's was very high last year, one of the highest last year. And because of that's why they had a lot of those downward projections, because it's like that's an unattainable number to hit in and year out. So like that's where the execution comes in. Can't have drop balls, can't have any of that nonsense. Saw, corners were getting a little shaky. Are we calling people out? Are we calling Jamari Sharp out? It's
we can have the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it's just people, guys were getting beat against Kennesaw State, and that's not going to fly when you're guarding, the Ducks and the Nittany Lions. Like that's just not gonna. It's not going to fly.
No, and the game really turned when he got himself back in that play and stripped the ball out. That's when we really saw the game kind of end. But it's like that play was awesome.
It was really smart.
Masks the fact that he got toasted.
Cooked. Yeah. Thank God
it wasn't the first time.
But yeah, and it wasn't the first time that happened in that game either. And yeah, he did make a hell of a play. So shout out Jamari Sharp for that. And it really did kind of just open the floodgates for Indiana. And that's kind of how this team operates. Kind of a big play on defense leads to the floodgates opening on offense, and just an absolute avalanche in the last, couple quarters is kind of how most games went. Michigan was probably the one where, and obviously the losses were the ones where you didn't really see that the offense really getting into groove toward the end of the game. But for the most part, the offense continues to ascend as the game goes on. And that's always a good sign because you want your, when it comes down to a game-winning drive and, you need to score, and I just have this feeling that that's what's going to happen in Illinois. It's just going to come down to us with the ball, and we're going to have to score. And will we be able to do that? Guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, I will say I'm a lot more confident in that, especially after the second half of yesterday's game. I'm not fully there yet, but like even throughout yesterday's game, like you saw early, Mendoza was, and they weren't bad passes. They should have been caught, but the one to, I think EJ was slightly behind him, or the balls were slightly off. And then he came out in the second half and it was like, I think he hit Cooper on that hitch and like Surratt and like a quick out or something like that. And it was all of a sudden like, oh, he's in rhythm. Like he's executing the offense. And that was when it was like, we went boom, 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 right down the field, scored. And it was like, oh, I think he figured something out here.
Yeah, I mean, for Fernie went 18-25, 250, 4 TODs. I mean, he's doing all right.
Heis Mendoza.
Yeah,
his career high passing touchdowns.
Would be like, we need 400 yards from you, but it's hard to get 400 yards passing when you're rushing the ball for 300 yards. Exactly. That's my point. The three-headed monster is awesome.
Oh my God, dude. They're all awesome.
We might just run for 300 yards every game. Why not? Why not just...
Dude, well, my prediction was we were going to have 1,000-yard rusher and 2 800-yard
draft stock by running the ball all year, and then he has to come back. He doesn't have a choice.
No, he's going to get JJ McCarthy. Everyone's going to see that.
Exactly. I like that call out, and if this team, tries to emulate that Michigan type model, it could work because they have that defense. They can, we need a little bit more from the pass rush. I think that's a big, valid concern. We have been having to deal with dual threats.
I don't know. I don't even want to say that. We have not been dealing with dual threats because, actually, that dude did make a couple plays with his arm, but those.
Oh, yeah. We've been dealing with
Joseph.
We've been dealing with running backs at quarterback. So.
I like the guy and he's electric, but
Yeah, it's I guess they're one single threats in the sense where they can't throw, and they can just run, and that's it's hard to sack a guy like that, So it's
it is, especially when you're trying to stay in your rush lanes and you're not trying to extend yourself, because then you give the guy, like you saw the one time he was able to get out and make a play for their first down of the game. He shook everybody on the field.
And I'm gonna call it straight here too. With these quarterbacks and their mentalities, like they're not like Aiden Childs sitting back there trying to, stay in the pocket and win the game. Like they're like, oh shit, I'm a Kennesaw State quarterback. Mikhail Kamara's after me. I'm going to go run.
I'm getting the hell out of here.
It's not really about like, I need to go stay in this pocket and make a play downfield. Like first chance I get, I'm running it and we're going to see what the fuck happens,
it's whatever's over there is better than staying right here.
Yeah. So it's like, it just gives the defense, less opportunity to get sacks, and but it is definitely a sign, a thing to look out for, because I just remember our pressure numbers were really, really high last year, and that was a big third down execution, elite pass rush, run defense looks really good besides containing quarterbacks, so that's
and then the straight up dive up the gut for whatever reason was just getting gashed on these straight, just run straight.
Yeah, it's right where CJ West used to be. It's so funny.
Crazy, right? Maybe the guy making his NFL debut today was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out CJ West for making his debut as well.
And Miles Price. Shout out to the guys.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I know you're saying you maybe wanted a little bit more from the defense, but I'm going to read you some stats from Candy Stripe Candid's or Candid Hoosier Candy Stripe. Check the guy out. He does all.
The number I'm looking at is total yards from Kennesaw State.
Here's the number. Let me throw some numbers at you. And
I've been known to be
14 tackles for loss, Brad. 14.
I've always been a hater on the defense. I don't know why.
No, I know, and I think that's fair. 14 TFLs, dude.
No, I think it's good because they always like prove me wrong throughout the year. So I think you just need to keep the bit going. Just
No,
call
I'm with it. Okay.
the
What do you?
defense's ass, and then gas up the
14.
like confidence for the offense. And then I just want to piss the defense off.
Well, yeah, they play angry on defense, clear-headed on offense. Like that's
exactly.
Although like Belichick was kind of the opposite. I don't know if I get like the Julian Edelman podcast clips, and he was on with Will Fork, and they're saying they ask the defense layup questions, but that has nothing to do with this. I want to get to the.
Yeah. Give me some more stats.
Yeah. The Owls were 2 for 13 on third down.
2 for 13. That's pretty good. That's steep. Where were we on third down?
I don't know
how good we were on third down last year in red zone.
Yeah, we were unbelievably efficient. I'll find that number for Tuesday night show, and
we're 5 for 9. We're 5 for 9. I found the number.
Oh,
got you.
Nice,
decent. It's fine.
89 rushing yards allowed for the defense. Playing a running quarterback after the game they had last week, where they gave up like 150.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, how the hell did they get up to 271 then? Jamari Sharp. I'm sorry.
No, I also think that, and I talked about this yesterday too. Obviously, I don't have any cut-ups of the film, but my guess would be they were spying the quarterback, and it left one zone uncovered. That zone ended up being over the middle, and they were getting gashed over the center of the field a couple of different times.
Yeah.
But my guess is that's because Fisher was spying.
More defensive stats?
Yes.
Fisher and Kamara got sacks.
Yeah, I'll go to the box score.
Stars making plays.
9 total tackles for Kellen Wyatt.
Beast mode. Love your leading tackler being not in the secondary.
2 TFLs.
Love that.
Oh, no, don't worry. I'll get to Louis more. 7 tackles for Aiden Fisher with a sack. 2 total TFLs. Fisher getting on the board with a sack.
Yeah, I just said that. You know what? Here's my stat. Our top 10.
You asked me to read you stats and then went and read.
No, I'm reading stats back. We're just throwing stats at each other.
Well, I wanted to throw one more at you.
All
7
right,
tackles
throw one
for
more
Lewis
at me. I'll hold my tongue. All right.
7 tackles for Lewis Moore, including a TFL and the interception.
Beast mode. He's been awesome. Louis.
He's been so damn good.
He's been so good. I think a lot of it probably has to do with just like, this could be his last game. Like that's a sad thing to say because he only got 2 games, right?
Yeah, he only got a 2-week waiver. I think I'm gonna have to sneeze at some point. I'm not sure.
But here's a fun stat that I really like that I think is a really clear sign. Our top 10 leading tacklers all had at least a half tackle for loss. All 10 of them. All 10 of them. So like the 10 guys who tackled, who play the most, get the most tackles, they're also getting back in the backfield and making plays. 14 TFLs, it's awesome. I mean, we do that against Illinois. We'll pregame Illinois in a couple of weeks. We got folks on Indiana State. But
yeah, Larry Bird revenge
hard
game.
To not look ahead a little bit.
I'm not gonna let you. This is the Larry Bird revenge game, and I'll tell you what. Actually, I'm gonna hold it until we. I want to get back into the recap, but I'm gonna jump into the chat real quick. Abel says, I believe we made history yesterday. First time 2 brothers have thrown a TD in the same game. I think that's true. I saw something that may have said 2 brothers scored in the same game or something like that, where like Arkansas's Blake Allen or Brandon Allen or whatever that combination was may have done something. I know Kellen Moore, back when he played for Boise State, I think he played with his brother and they threw touchdowns. He threw a touchdown to him, but it obviously different. So I'm not sure what that stat was, but the fact that they both threw touchdowns and the celebration between the 2 of them. Did you see that?
That was awesome. That was probably the best.
It was awesome.
Are
you kidding me?
The only thing that was missing is did you see Fran Brown made Syracuse run sprints after the game yesterday?
Yeah, I saw a lot of people.
I was like, that's some sick shit right there.
No, I know Sig would never do that. Sig Sig wouldn't like embarrass his team nationally like that.
Yeah.
Listen, I think Fran Brown's a great coach. I personally have a big issue with him bashing Trevor Pena in the media and saying he's not paying a wide receiver $2 million and getting universally praised for that. And then like 5 weeks later, paying a high school kid an absurd amount of money to play a wide receiver at his school. Didn't really appreciate that.
Yeah, the
So
hypocrisy there is really bad on his part.
yeah, and it's like I'm not a like whose fault is it that the team wasn't ready to play UConn? Is it everyone on the team, or is it the people responsible for preparing them? So it's like you're going to embarrass them on the field in front of everybody to make yourself look good. What's the goal there? I don't know. And none of those dudes were sprinting either. Like they were all jogging. What was the point? I thought I publicity stunt. I don't know. Label me a hater. That's fine. I have a lot of respect for Fran Brown as a ball coach. I think he's excellent. Obviously, look at his resume. You don't have to listen to me say it. I just don't appreciate the way he went about that one thing. So I don't know. It's hard for me to look at him the same way after that.
Yeah, bad call out. I want to give a shout out. You know how we talk. My bit with walk-ons, right? I love Jeff Utzinger. I love Jack Greer. I like me a little Andrew Turvey.
You got to add a name to that now.
There's a new name in town. His name's Clay Connor. Indiana's
baby, you got to add two names actually.
He might even
Boonville.
have to start on the old
Boonville.
I don't even know what position he is. Is he a DB receiver? I don't know. He's special
teams. I'll tell you exactly what position he is because guess what, Brad? If you remember back when I wrote Hidden Gems on the 2024 Indiana Hoosiers for Key Sports Network, 6'4", 210, defensive back, Clay Connor, two-way player out of Boonville, Indiana, was on that list.
Oh, yeah. He's listed as DB. He's a true freshman. Well,
last year, true freshman.
Oh, yeah. He's a red shirt sophomore this year, actually.
Yeah, 2 years ago, he was a true freshman because
Yeah, number 36. Love
He's
that.
a ball player, dude. He's a ball player. He gets his nose in it, man. He's not afraid of contact, and he played quarterback at Boonville.
So good athlete.
But that's a quarterback who's not afraid to put his head in the middle of the scrum and get after it.
He's just a good athlete. It's not really about him being. I hate that. Quarterbacks are tough motherfuckers. Have you watched Josh Allen?
I'm with you, but like when you have a quarterback who's blocking, who's lowering the shoulder, who's doing all these different things, it's like it fires up your team. Like I don't know what your take on the Mahomes going to the sideline thing is, but he had like 5 feet before the sideline. Like lower your shoulder, fire up your team. Like I had no problem with that. Like when your quarterback's doing things like that, I think it's good for your team.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe not in the NFL.
No, definitely not in the NFL.
Have you seen the Gruden Jackson Dart?
Parts of it.
Quarterback camp. He's like, you gotta change your playing style. I think it's dangerous. I think it's reckless. Look at you against Georgia. What are you supposed to do here? You're supposed to run out of bounds. What do you do? Run his ass over. I love that. I love that from Jackson Dart, but can't be having that. But back to IU. We've been going on a little tangent here.
No, yeah. SoCal Hot Sauce said, I got the SoCal Hot Sauce 1 of 1 mug. Agreed, the defense turned the game into a blowout. Last week's special teams play that jump-started the offense. Armin says, Goom has the hater blockers on looking ahead to Illinois. Abel says, I saw Clay Connor after the game, told him what a beautiful, smart pump block, and you may change the momentum of the game. He seemed genuinely surprised. I recognized he was the one who blocked it. Gave me a point and a fist bump.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Clay
Connor's a beast.
Becoming a fan favorite. Quickly.
Listen, when you make plays on special teams, like this fan base is going to recognize that. Like it's funny to watch the Indiana fan base, and I can't speak to the level of like college football fan that a lot of people were before Sig arrived, but to watch the way that the Indiana fan base has now evolved into a college football fan base and the way it pays attention to the rest of the country, it's not surprising to me that most of the fans are recognizing Clay Connor and are giving props to the guys doing the dirty work. I think that is pretty par for the course for Indiana University. Very educated fans.
I think we're seeing a little bit of the basketball fandom kind of bleed into the football fandom in this sense, where I think Indiana, not only are they passionate and very, very passionate about their team, they're very educated about the sport, especially when it comes to basketball, and just keeping tabs on who's on the roster. Everyone Like everyone and their grandma in the state of Indiana even knows who the walk-ons are on the basketball team, right? And in that sense, when Indiana fans are invested in something, they're going all the way in, right? And they're going to know every little detail, including little Clay Connors of the world, knowing about him and knowing who's the Gunners. One of the most educated fan bases in the country. Argue a wall. Yeah, I don't know if that's some hot take or anything, but
No, I don't think that's a hot take, and I appreciate the fact that you looped the basketball into that because I didn't say it, but that's kind of what I was alluding to. It's like you look at the way Indiana basketball is as a fan base and how attached to the program they are and how educated they are, and you're in a very positive way, we're seeing that bleed into Indiana football. Pitt Hoosier said, not sure I've seen Sig as mad as he was after the field goal team got a delay of game. Yeah, we are going to talk about that. Let's talk about that right now. The second quarter was probably the worst. And this is why people are freaking out. And this is why I kind of joked about it when I tweeted out the instant reaction to the post game. The second quarter may arguably have been the worst quarter of football we've seen under Kurt Cignetti's Indiana Hoosiers. I don't think that's an exaggeration.
Yeah, it was concerning, to say the least. Lapses on defense, mental mistakes.
It was all self-inflicted, and they were
all three facets too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the positive was that Indiana is only beating itself, and the negative is for the second week in a row, Indiana is beating itself, and it's just that was the microcosm of things that were going wrong in the second quarter. I can't think of any time last year where they got a delay of game, let alone a delay of game on fourth down to push them out of field goal range. I'm surprised that the broadcast didn't have the camera right on Cignetti the entire time. I'm sure he was losing his damn mind. That's probably the first thing he said when they got into the locker room was this is unacceptable. It's just simply unacceptable. That stuff like that can't happen.
So he probably wasn't safe for TV at the time. You can't show the kid Cignetti during him being that mad. That's not
it's bad for recruiting. Abel makes a good point about Clay Connors' pump block. The way he positioned his body so that he didn't run into the kicker but still blocked the punt, and he didn't leave his feet either. He trusted his length. It was brilliant. And I think you're right. I think Grant Kane and the coaches are going to shout him out for sure.
Aim for the foot. I've been on.
But yeah, that was an interesting sequence. Something that we definitely weren't expecting to see. And then to couple that up with the fourth down play call, the lack of protection for pretty much the only time all game, and then the result of that drive. Yeah, vibes got bad. I will acknowledge vibes got bad. And up until the Jamari Sharp strip, it really felt like something weird was going to happen. But at the same time, I don't want to bring us back.
No, weird. No, it was never getting.
No, it felt weird. I never thought we were going to lose the game, but it was man, we need to. I'm talking about we need to cover and make this look good, and it wasn't looking good. I was
35-point spread.
Not even, but it's just and not that it matters again, but just when you talk about the perception and what these games are meant to be and why they're on the schedule, you're watching a team squander an opportunity ODU. Say what you want about ODU. Indiana held them to 14 points. It was really 2 plays. Other than that, they did nothing. They just put up 50 points yesterday. That's a good football team.
Yep. Sunbelt threats.
But it's I'm thinking these are opportunities for Indiana to climb in the rankings. And based on the result of this game, they're if they don't climb in the rankings, that'd be insane.
Here's the reality: they won't climb in the rankings.
No, they will. They will, because too many dominoes fell in front of them.
Yeah, but they're gonna move a Mississippi State above them, and they're gonna.
I'm not saying that won't happen.
Probably above them, and they're gonna get disrespected in the polls again. It's just what's gonna happen, and I think we just got to accept that that's what's gonna go on, and it really doesn't matter until put our hands in the dirt in Bloomington 2 weeks from now against Illinois. I know I'm looking ahead, and we got Indiana State this week, but I mean we all know what's gonna happen in that game. We all know what's going to happen. Purdue beat that team 66-0 last year or whatever, 45-0. Didn't win a single game the rest of the year. I mean, what do you think Indiana's
going to do? This is the Illinois State game. This is the easiest game on their schedule. They might Go out, execute, put up 80 points. Like but that's not what, like I'm gonna bring us back to Kennesaw State.
Yeah.
Indiana
Abel makes a good question actually here before you go on to the next point. Why didn't we go for a field goal after the delay game? Would have only been a 49-yard field goal. I think we were expecting Radicic's range to be a lot further. It seems like Frankie came in to be the long distance kicker. I don't know why we didn't go for it. Even if that's the case, with Frankie, we have both of them, right? And and Radicic should be able to hit anything within 50. And even with that, like Frankie is available, so it is kind of weird that we didn't kick it there.
Well, I think
we didn't even go for it. We went for it, right?
I think he got so upset with the special teams unit, and this is just pure speculation. I could be completely wrong, and nobody asked him about this after the game, so maybe somebody asked him about it on Monday during his presser. But I think he was so livid with the special teams unit that he was just like, "Offense, get back on the field! Like I'm not doing this." I think that was it.
That could very well be how.
And also, like kicker is a very confidence-based position. I think that's part of the reason why we're seeing them. I don't want to say protect Radicic, but just deploy him differently. And then to have the penalty, presumably, and we don't know, have the Signetti blow a gasket and freak out, and then like tell your kicker, all right, go out there and kick at the top of your range. Probably not the best idea, right? So you send Heisman Mendoza out there and you hope he makes a play.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. What were you going to say?
I want to go back to some stats from Candid Candy Stripe. 593 total yards of offense.
It's good. It's got 600. It's a good number.
9 yards a play on average on offense.
Get out of town. That 75-yarder by Coop really helped with that, though.
That was unreal. That was unreal. To keep the blocking on that play, starting with Surratt, and then both tight ends down the field first stays, and then even farther than the field, Nowakowski, and then just the pure playmaking ability of Omar Cooper to keep his feet not only against the sideline, but with people trying to tackle him too, and like brushing off contact. That's if I'm an NFL evaluator, that's a play where I'm watching going like, oh my God, Omar Cooper's shucking these dudes and pulling away from them. That was impressive. And it came after an injury scare where he got hurt, twisted an ankle, presumably. I didn't see the play happen, slammed his helmet, and went to the locker room with a bunch of trainers.
Just spat that thing up and then give him a rock. That's it. That's what we're doing. Get him back out there.
Mendoza, 207.9 QBR, 72% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns. That all includes 4 drops by the wideouts.
Yep. Yeah. How many drops are we at this year?
I don't know. It's a lot, though. It's got to be like 6.
Too high.
Too many. Way too many.
Too high. I was thinking like 8, 10. Feels like that much.
And then obviously the biggest number, 100% red zone efficiency.
There we go. There we go.
Red zone Mike Shanahan, more than back.
Yeah. Perfect.
What did you think of the red zone play calling?
It wasn't anything out of the blue. I think we saw a lot more creative stuff as the season went on last year, but I think they were just able to execute because they're a better team than Kennesaw State. I don't think it was all too crazy. Pretty simple stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And,
let me throw
I don't think they've opened the playbook yet, to be honest.
Well, there was some interesting plays, like that play action, like speed out to Surratt was nice. Like the tunnel screen, the tight end screen was definitely new. We saw a pass go to the running back. Hemby took one. That was awesome. Yeah. I'm telling you, we're gonna we still have the ongoing bet season long. One of those running backs is lined up in the slot. I'm telling you.
No, they're not. They're not. They're not going to do it.
You're going to see a jet sweep. You're going to see a jet sweep. You just will. I promise. How about this one? 8 different guys had carries.
Love that. That's fun.
Can you guess who they were?
Mendoza, Coop, Black, Hemby.
Yep.
BB.
Yep.
3 more.
Mm-hmm. One guy scored.
Well, that was Coop. Oh yeah, they gave it to Nowakowski. Yeah.
In the I
Nowakowski.
formation, fullback dive.
I told you he's a fullback.
It was awesome. That play was awesome.
Give the kid the rock.
Think of the running back room, Brad.
Yeah, so then it would be everyone but Cuono. So Van
Yeah.
Horst and Kobe Martin.
Yep. And then 10 different guys finished with catches, 9 of them from Mendoza. Well, all of them from Mendoza's, 9 of them from Fernando.
Jackson Wasserstrom, walk on, got his first ever reception. So good for him. Congratulations.
Yeah, I was about to say you got to add him to the. He's creeping.
I'm not
on
adding him
now.
to the list yet. I'm not adding him to the list yet. I'm not. Garbage time doesn't count. I'm sorry, Jackson Wasserstrom. We're close though.
Abel says, "Is that the first time we saw Coop with a jet sweep?" I don't think so. I want to say we ran jet sweeps with Coop last year.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, maybe Maryland or I think Maryland.
We
Maryland
like getting
Nebraska.
plays, even though he doesn't have the craziest speed. He just has this knack of not getting tackled and just getting more yardage.
He's got great short area quickness, elite burst, and he's got thick legs. The dude's more built like a running back than he is a receiver. Yeah. He's really hard to bring down.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that run was just insane. He wasn't burning anyone, but he was just able to.
I mean, I don't know. There was a point on the sideline where he was like cleat to cleat with a Kennesaw State defender and just pulled away from the kid.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's just Kennesaw State's lack of athleticism or just indicative of the boost Cooper has. But like he talked about getting faster. He talked about adding explosiveness, and then he runs for 75 yards, shucking tackles. Like it's a positive. It's a positive. Surratt.
Hat trick. Waffle House.
Really, really, really good. He looked
good for
awesome.
the Blitnikoff resume. Really good for the Blitnikoff yesterday. Good, bounce back kind of game for Surratt. Didn't get targeted until the second half of ODU, felt like. So good to see that Mendoza just fucking throw the ball to him. All right.
Their post-game press conferences were funny. Mendoza said he definitely didn't target him enough and didn't give him the ball enough. And like Surratt, he told Surratt he needs to take him out to dinner because he didn't give him the ball enough, type of thing. Like it was. But Surratt, did you know, leads college football with 40 straight games with a reception?
Insane stat. Because he's probably going to finish. Yeah, he's probably going to get to 50, 51, 52, 53, 54.
Oh, Pitt Hoosier confirms my speculation. Apparently, Sig said he got overly emotional after the delay of game and that he should have gone for the field goal. Sounds like he was just pissed and said "F you" to the special teams.
Yeah. Yep. I
know my ball coach. I know my ball coach. I will say, and I said this yesterday, I don't think it was an accident. Elijah Surratt was getting force-fed. I think for 2 reasons. One, you obviously want to get your wide receiver 1 the ball. After last week, you look at his stat line. It's not indicative of what a wide receiver 1 should be. You get that guy the football. That's why he's there. Yeah. Give him the ball. But the Mills to be made crew was in the building. That includes Casimir Hicks, Indiana commit, defensive back. That also includes 2027 uncommitted 5-star super recruit, Monshun Showtime Sales. And Showtime Sales was in the building yesterday. So I don't think it was an accident that Indiana was force feeding their wide receiver 1.
Yeah. 3 touchdowns, Sales, 3.
And he could have had 4 if that was like an unreal play by the defensive back on the one going to the ground.
Oh yeah. Unreal.
But 9 for 97, I think he had. Yeah, he was phenomenal.
Raj should have caught that though. He should have.
Yeah, he definitely should have caught that.
Should've. Baby fooded him.
Yep. Abel says BB runs violent. Not sure if that translated to TV, but he runs hard and violent like Pacheco. Yeah, but he's like 3 times the size of Pacheco. And Abel, it translates. I promise you, it translates. That dude, when he gets going and bursts into space, like it's really hard to tackle him. I was surprised, honestly, at how many times Kennesaw State was able to tackle him one-on-one. But like, holy cow, his burst, his combination of like pitter patter to go and like his acceleration and like, yeah, he's really good. And the fact that he's around for next year too.
Huge.
Yeah, that's
how we won. And we'll probably bring in a couple other transfers, but
And BB led the team in carries this week. And given his ability to bruise and his ability to lean on people and his ability as a pass catcher. Like he's just easy to put on the football field as long as he's not putting the ball on the ground. But yeah, that definitely translated across the television. That dude is really good.
Lee Beebe, 11 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Roman Hemby, 9 carries, 64 yards. Kalen Black, 10 carries, 57 yards. I mean, that is the best running back room in the country right now. I don't want to hear in terms of depth. Like, obviously, there's probably better running backs out there, but I don't think there's a better trio of running backs in the country right now than what Indiana has right now. And yeah, awesome room.
Abel says Showtime sales. Don't know about them. You don't know about them yet. Go watch some Lawrence North highlights, Abel. Like, oh my goodness.
6'5", track speed,
wiggle, like catch the ball, like
would
catch
be the
like
best.
bubble screens or like smoke screens and take him to the house. Like could start on a college team right now.
Probably would be the best athlete to walk onto campus since Victor. Even then, like Victor was a 3-star coming out, you know. It's
you could argue he'd be one of the better, like he'd be up there with, I mean, he'd be by far the highest rated recruit in program history.
Yeah, in a football sense, but I'm saying like all sports, like he'd probably be the biggest get.
Like you have to think like who wore like I'm spacing on who wore 44 and 45 who were claiming the national title for Tagliaferro.
Yeah.
Like we're going back to like Uber legends, you know what I mean? Like this dude is in any other world, if Curt Cignetti did not orchestrate this ridiculous culture shift at Indiana, in any world, this kid would be a mortal lock for Ohio State, LSU, or Oregon. But Indiana's in play because of what Curt Cignetti and the staff has done in such a short amount of time. And like, I'm not saying that we're going to like that Showtime sales is going to end up coming to Indiana. Like I'm not even ready to make a prediction like that. You look at a lot of the schools that are after him, you look at what they're able to do financially, especially for kids in high school. And it's just like, okay, like I love where we are as a program, but we're not in the upper echelon just yet. We're still building to that. So it's like, I'm not completely discounting our chances because the kid is from Indiana and to play for your hometown school. And he's quoted as saying like the best in Indiana, play for Indiana. At the same time, he's 16, 17 years old. He's getting told he's the best player in the country by everyone he talks to. It's like that kid's going to go where he finds is the best opportunity for him. But the fact that we're even in the conversation for a guy as talented as that in our backyard, when in the past, like 2 years ago, he doesn't even take a second look at Indiana. And now he's considering Indiana as an option. And that's just says everything.
We'll probably make his top 5. We'll probably be at the hat. We'll probably have a hat at the table when he makes this decision. And just considering the ties he has, he knows a couple players on Indiana just from that Lawrence North. Like Omar Cooper's a legend at his high school. Davion Chandler's his teammate.
Yeah.
He's on the team.
Ran track and played football with Davion Chandler.
Exactly. Yeah, and yeah, just quick, we're going to bring it back to the present, right? It's no need to speculate over 2027 recruits right now.
Well, no, but I'm just saying it's important that he was in the building and they were force feeding Surratt, saying like, look at what the wide receiver 1 does in our offense. Like this could be you, is my point.
Yeah, helmet sticker, Elijah Surratt,
for sure.
Boom. That's my. I took it from you.
That's your offensive helmet sticker.
That's my offensive helmet sticker. Special teams helmet sticker, Clay Connor.
My offensive helmet sticker is Fernando Mendoza.
Ah, very nice. Thank you for changing it up.
Well, after last week, a lot of the takeaway was like he didn't look crisp. He has a lot to improve on. He needs to show us something. He comes out and sets a career high in touchdown passes, throws for 250 yards, dotting guys up and down the field. Just has an awesome day. And you could argue he probably adds one more if he doesn't get hit late out of bounds. Yeah, so I thought he was great. He, for 95% of the game, demonstrated everything I needed to see from him to let me know that he's the guy I thought he was. Yeah, helmet sticker for sure. He was in complete command.
Dog. He's balling out. He's just going to get better, you know? And, like, he's the reason, like, when we talk about Illinois, Oregon, Iowa, I'm still keeping Iowa in that conversation. It's not easy going to Iowa City. Like, he's the important piece to that, right? Like, he plays bad, we're cooked, right? So yeah, we just got to keep setting him up for success. And we've been
Special
doing
teams helmet sticker. Special teams helmet sticker. I'm going Mark Langston.
I like that. Even though he had a
Guys just-
delayed game.
Oh, true. No, that's not on him though, is it? That's true.
Kind of on
Was
him.
it? Is it on him? He's not.
It's on the
He's just-
unit, and he's kind
on the
of,
unit.
you know, he's the center in the unit. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, you know, you rally around Mark, special teams unit. You know, put the fist up, huddle. You know,
It's a good point.
yeah.
I don't know. He's getting it anyway.
Yeah,
Shout
I'm
out
giving
to
mine to
Mark
Clay
Langston.
Connor. Clay Connor's getting my special teams helmet sticker. Brady,
No, I
had
mean,
another
no,
good
it
punt
should
return.
really double up on Clay Connor. You're right. It's 2 for Clay Connor. It's 2
Yeah.
for Clay Connor. The guy's just great. He blocked the punt.
And defensive helmet sticker. It's gotta be Louis. It's gotta be Louis.
It is Lewis
Two
Moore
straight
because
weeks
it's
for
like
Louis Moore.
I would love to go Fish, but even Fish acknowledged this in his press conference. He was just like too many missed tackles. Actually, it's funny. Brian Haynes posted a picture on Twitter with his like little baby girl, and he was like quoted her as saying too many missed tackles.
That's so funny.
He's phenomenal, dude. He's so good.
Yeah, we'll lock it down.
Yeah, and I like Wyatt again was awesome, but just Louis with the interception, just doing what he's doing in the back end of that defense, making everything go is
I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Quinn Warren too, stepping in the walk on
Yes.
kicker, coming in for an injured Jack McCarthy.
he was
Nailed
great.
44
He was great.
average, didn't miss a beat. Yeah, what's up with these special teams injuries? We had the kickoff specialist last year. Now our punter's out after week 1. What's going on? The specialist.
I have no
injuries.
idea.
Are they skipping their stretch sessions? Are they half-assing stretches? That's it. I'm worried. I'm worried about that group.
I'm not worried if we have Quinn Warren hitting punts like that. He was phenomenal.
I would like
He
to have
deserves a
Jack
specialty.
back,
He
though.
deserves a helmet sticker, actually.
I would like to have Jack Mack back though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to bring up. Oh, depth. We didn't get to see it for a lot, but the guys got on the field.
A little bit. LeBron Bond got a little action. You know?
Gandy. Oh, I'm talking about even the defense. Gandy was out there. I didn't see who was the far side corner, and I don't have the snap count in front of me. I couldn't find it. But Bell was out there. Jaja Boyd and Anthony Chung, the 2 second team safeties, were out there. You'd like to think that was going to be Byron Baldwin Jr. We're not sure what the injury update on him is yet. Hopefully, we know soon. But yeah, with it, like Wednesday becomes a very, very important date, and we'll talk about it on Tuesday night. But it becomes very, very important. But it was encouraging to see those guys get on the field. And like obviously the starters need all the reps they can get, but like you got to see what you got in those guys. And so I enjoyed seeing them get out there. And I enjoyed seeing the second team offense, including the second team offensive line, end up getting out there eventually too. And I thought Alberto looked great.
Pitt Hoosier. Great call out here. Apparently the advanced stats, which don't matter, predictive analytics, right?
The ones we told you to ignore last week, not pay attention to.
Because they're going to change. So
no, I know.
The volatility is just so high with these things because it's there's so much. I mean,
we see it right here. Indiana moved up 21 spots.
Exactly, 21 spots. Actually, I even did a quick check on it. 5th ranked team in the Big Ten. We're ranked above Michigan. Ranked above Washington. The only 4 teams were behind by, all in the top 7: Oregon, Ohio State, USC, and Penn State. USC looks damn good this year, by the way.
USC looks good.
That number 5 spot for them. Bama is at 4 on this ranking, so that's why
I think
it don't matter.
It's in part due to the way they looked against Kennesaw State. It's also in part due to the way ODU looked against North Carolina Central. So that ODU versus Virginia Tech game will be very telling. If ODU can win that game, that does wonders for Indiana's strength of schedule.
Wonders. Yeah, maybe Kennesaw State. Who's Kennesaw State? Can K-State beat someone this year? Who they got? Who they got on the
I
schedule?
think so. Brad, did you
Okay.
happen to watch any of Illinois at Duke? I didn't catch much of it.
Duke. By the way, Cooper Barkate, wide receiver at Duke, NFL talent. Calling it out right now. Came from Mater Dei High School, same as St. Brown and Nico Remigio and a bunch of other guys. Ended up going to Harvard, was Harvard's highest rated recruit of all time. Killed it over there, won Ivy League Player of the Year. Now he's the wide receiver one at Duke this year. Harvard to Duke. Must be a smart guy. He's got clear NFL talent, and Duke outplayed Illinois in that game and lost the turnover battle by 5 and made the game look really bad. 45-19 your final. Illinois does look good, The run game seems a little slow. Fegan only had about like 40 yards rushing. He was their leading rusher. So, they have some things they need to figure out as well. And not to preview Illinois, but, just based on that game, turnover battle is going to be the key to that one. But, we'll put a pin in it. But, yeah, great win for the Big Ten in a sense, right?
Yeah, they needed it after yesterday.
Good for Indiana specific as well with their schedule. Obviously we're rooting for, we'll talk about some more games, but yeah, you didn't get to watch the Illinois game.
No, I was locked in on Indiana. So I literally just like blinders on for the Hoosiers. So I didn't watch that. I didn't watch the Cyhawk game. I saw Oregon look terrible. Not Oregon. Oregon looked phenomenal. Oregon did not look terrible. Iowa
Oregon looks like
terrible.
the #1 team in the country right now.
Oregon looks like the best team in the country. Oregon, I apologize to Oregon. Not that I apologize. It's just like I wanted to see it first, and they're showing it. Like, I don't know. Give respect where respect is due. I think a lot of that had to do with Gundy.
Monte Moore is still vulnerable. You can't.
He is, but put up 70 points on a Big 12 team it's
Big 12 team. They went over in the Big 12 last year.
It's a bad Big 12 team, but it's still a Big 12 team. You know what I mean? Like that's more significant than putting up 70 points against Western Illinois. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. They did what we did to Western Illinois. They did to Oklahoma State. Fuck. God damn. Yeah, what other game? 69.
Hold on, wait. I want to wrap.
They didn't even score in the fourth quarter.
I want to wrap up Indiana Kennesaw State real quick. I just want to wrap it up really, really quick. Put a bow on it and
Put
it on the back.
Toss it out. We're going to Indiana State. Sycamores.
For what the fan base needed to see from this football team, especially after the second quarter, this team delivered. Like that was, we saw noticeable improvement, a noticeable step up in execution, and there's still a ways to go. Like I tweeted this out today, and I can't even remember if we talked about it already, but like the overwhelming takeaway from all of the post-game press conferences was we have a lot of work to do, and we're going to watch the film.
As it should be. And that's what it is every week, right? Like after they beat Nebraska, it's the same sentiment, right? And that's why I'm not going to worry about this team. They're going to continue to progress and get better as the weeks go on. That's a theme that we've seen through how many games now through Sig? 15 games through Signetti.
13-2 in the Kurt Signetti era.
13-2. Not too shabby, guys. Not too shabby. We're 2 years out from Akron 4 OTs. And look at us, we're bitching about a 56-9 victory,
No, I'm not bitching. Kurt Signetti, I will never forget what you've done for Indiana football.
Too many drops, too many missed tackles.
He can say those things.
Delay of game.
We can also say those things, but like I like when Kurt Signetti is like, yeah, we played like shit and we won 56-9. Like I love that. I love it. Abel said Oklahoma State lost before they boarded the plane. Did you hear Gundy bitching?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that aspect when he was bitching. I mean,
that was my point.
Doing our quick run through, I said the exact same thing. I said that they already lost.
That game's over. Like, how do you give your kids a shot? Like, nope. Just like
I'm gonna bitch about how
tell your team how much they suck and tell the other team how good they are before you get on the plane. Yeah, that'll be a good strategy.
On Monday, he said that. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
What else we got to cover?
Do you want to talk about Michigan?
Yeah, disappointing for the Big Ten, but it's hard to just go to a road environment in general and get a dub. Same thing happened with Texas. So
Mhm.
yeah, even in the little spreadsheet, so it comes down to the rubber match, Wisconsin, Alabama. We'll see if O'Neal's able to pull something out of his ass and get a dub for the old Big Ten, America's conference, and yeah, I don't think it's crazy to think Wisconsin can go in there and take it to them.
It's a little crazy. I think it's a little crazy.
No. Oh,
I just want to say for games like Ohio State and Texas, and I'm gonna make this point tomorrow night when I talk to Mark. It's like there is no preseason in college football. If these top teams like Texas takes care of business and does what it's supposed to do, they're not going to get penalized for an Ohio State loss on the road. Like if Michigan, like say like Bryce Underwood showed flashes of being everything they were paid for, and he looks the part. Like the dude looks phenomenal on the football field. But he also looks like a guy who has all of the ability and no idea how to use it. Like the guy's got a bazooka, but no idea where the ball is going. Like he's can run and move, but he's having a little bit of trouble picking apart the defense. So like that's a football team where they're going to look significantly different at the end of the year as he progresses than they do at the beginning of the year. And I just like if a team like Michigan takes care of business too, like they're not going to get penalized for that game on the road either.
Yeah.
What did you think of Underwood though? Because to me, he looked like somebody driving a Ferrari for the first time. Like he said, like so much power, he had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, it's about what I expected, just a very inefficient game from him. He obviously looks good, like the eye test, like passes and flying colors, but then you look at the stats, 9 for 24, buck 50. Like, that's what a freshman is. What a good sign for Bryce is that he didn't throw a pick. He was taking
Yeah,
care
but
of
there
the
was like
ball.
he would have like moments where like he'd scramble out and he'd make the right play and he'd pick the right person to throw it to, and then it'd be like the person's 8 yards away and he threw it 100 miles an hour to
Yeah.
can't even catch it. Or it's like he's not layering balls correctly, or his velocity's off. It's just like things that you pick up as you play the game. He's just so young. To expect a guy like that to go into that environment in his second ever career game and play like an elite quarterback is asking a lot.
Yeah. He's a Donovan McCulley merchant. Donovan had 3 catches, 91 yards.
McCulley looked good. He looked really good.
Yeah, good for
And
him.
if you're just gonna run straight and throw the ball up, he's in the perfect spot. Like if you're gonna be this nuanced, like count on your receivers to be blockers and be like technicians, and he wasn't a fit in Kurt Cignetti's system, and it is what it is. But I'm glad to see him playing well. I don't think he would say he's glad to see Indiana doing well, but that's neither here nor there. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think both those teams are good though, and I don't know. We'll see. It was a big night for the SEC. They needed it after Florida.
Yeah, with Mississippi State getting a big win over Arizona State. Huge night for the
Dude,
SEC.
that was nuts. What
Yeah,
is?
I mean,
You can help me out
I'm
here.
not surprised. I'm not
Well,
shocked about it. They're going to Starkville with the cowbells. It's a hostile
Why
environment.
why did they move out of prevent and into straight up man to man on the touchdown? Like why didn't they have 4 guys back for that?
I don't know. I was deep in the Thunderdome at the time. I was watching. I was like telling people, "Oh yeah, ASU's going to drive down the ball here and score." They're going to come back here. And
Did you see the Brandon Walker reaction?
No, I didn't.
I'll send it to you. It was phenomenal. And I got like, again, I like taking my shots at the guy and his ridiculous takes and things like that. But the dude's a diehard fan.
Yeah.
Like he's just screaming, like grabbing his kid, showing him like he's just losing his mind. Like you can tell he's just like it was, as a sports fan, it's like you look at that and you're like, I want that moment for myself. So it was cool to like watch somebody else experience that. But it's like I want Indiana football to give me one of those moments.
Exactly. Yeah, no, beautiful moment. Some things. Quick more run through here. South Florida upsets. Florida with Byron Brown being out for the first half.
There was another spitting incident.
Really?
Did you see that?
Rivalry, huh?
On the last drive of the game, I think part of the reason why USF was able to get out a little bit and get going was because a Florida guy spit on someone and got a 15-yard penalty and thrown out of the game.
literally saw what happened Thursday night, and dude definitely watched that game. And for whatever
He was like, "I'm gonna do
reason,
the same thing."
I'm gonna do the
What
exact
is
same
wrong
thing.
with you?
Not just at the beginning of the game, but in a high leverage situation. Crazy. They're just kids, though. They're just kids.
They're just kids.
They're just kids. That's why they drop the ball sometimes. That's why they have delay games. They're just kids, and that's why Signetti's driven up a wall. He's like, God damn, I'm dealing with all these kids. He likes it. Yeah, Baylor SMU
Didn't
went
catch
to
a lick
double
of that game.
OT. Yeah, went to double OT. Baylor Sawyer Robertson, 404 yards, 4 touchdowns.
He's good, and he knows ball too. They were doing like the asking who the NCAA covers were or something at media day, and he was like the player who knew who everybody was. I was very impressed. Put him on my radar.
Yeah, he's a talent, special talent. That guy.
Boston
Ole
College,
Miss
Michigan State.
Huh?
Oh,
Well, yeah,
Ole Miss first.
Michigan State with a huge one. I was only looking at ranked games, but yeah, Michigan State, huge win over Boston College. Saw the end of that one. Good for Aiden Childs, Jonathan Smith getting things going over there.
Big for Aiden Childs. I felt like I needed that one as an Aiden Childs believer.
Yeah, he's such a talent. And Iowa State getting a dub over Iowa in another coin flip game. Just came down to Iowa State drive. They had the ball last, drove down for a field goal.
No, I need to read you. I actually need to read you. I need to read you this stat. And I don't want to hate. But Iowa was like, for as much as talking as Iowa was doing about having their quarterback, and like I saw the feature that Fox ran before the game, and you're like, you only want to root for Mark Gronowski. Like I want to root for this guy. He's broken the record for fewest passing yards by a Big Ten quarterback through 2 games of a season, minimum 35 attempts since 1995. He's got 127 passing yards in 2 games.
He's not even at 130. That's insane. Crazy.
I don't even have words for that.
I don't think it's worth time on this show. I think it really just speaks for itself here. Same old Iowa.
They got to figure that one out. Like, I don't know.
If he gets over 100 passing yards on us, I'm gonna
lose my mind.
I'm gonna blow a gasket. Ole Miss getting a dub over Kentucky. Kentucky feels like they have Ole Miss's number, but just wasn't able to get it done at home.
6th straight game. Sixth straight game for Kentucky and Ole Miss where they've entered the 4th quarter in a 1-score game.
Yep.
So for whatever reason, that they're just ready to play.
There's no weeks off in the SEC,
Except for in November.
Except for Mercer week.
Except for Citadel week.
Yeah. What other Big Ten games happened? Let's.
Do you want to talk about your Bruins?
No, I knew that was going to happen.
I actually thought they were going to that Nico was going to bring them back, and then the pick was bad.
I went to a UNLV game way back in the day, like 8-10 years ago. Went to Sam Boyd Stadium before Allegiant was built. Cool stadium, by the way. Sam Boyd, very cool, very intimate.
Pretty sure it's the name of the law school.
Yeah, and I watched UCLA beat the fucking piss out of UNLV, and 10 years later they're losing to them now, and it's just they got to figure something out. They got to put money into this thing, or else
does Tino come back?
Yeah, there's a real possibility, but with Chandler Whitmer there, I don't know.
Co-quarterbacks, coach.
That's not going to fly.
You can't bring 2 voices in. No, I get it. Nature of the beast.
Yeah. Everyone else got dubs. I don't think anyone. Oh my God. Purdue only beat Southern Illinois by 17. Oh.
Purdue was riding high off of last week, thinking they were better than they were.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it seems like every Big Ten team won except for Michigan and UCLA, which is really disappointing for my Bruins.
And Iowa.
Yeah. Iowa lost.
And
Minnesota, big
Maryland,
66-0 win. Something to note.
Maryland didn't look great. Yeah, Minnesota. Oh, the Minnesota game, actually, Minnesota and Northwestern State, right? Who's in
Yeah.
Louisiana. They mutually agreed to stop the game with 6 minutes left.
Wow. Northwestern State must be really bad. Really bad.
We saw them. I think we saw them win a game last week.
Yeah, they're 1-1.
Yeah. Crazy.
They beat Alcorn State. Wow.
Yeah.
Insane.
Any more thoughts rattling around up there, Brad?
No. It's getting rough out here. Yeah, I powered through for an hour. That's good.
Yeah,
I need
it is
nap.
great.
Is what I need.
Yeah. Listen, we went into this game looking for offensive execution, shore up the defensive line, no more BS quarterback runs that are breaking. We wanted to see the young guys play. We wanted to see special teams continue to look good. I think if you take out the delay of game, and then we wanted to see them make it look good, and they covered. So it's
We
like
got everything we asked for, right?
Mhm. Was it perfect? No. And the fact that Cignetti can now grill these dudes in practice all week and be angry and have them going into Indiana State being like, we need to improve versus like, look at how good we are, is a positive thing for Indiana season. So
yeah, 100%.
Overall, 2 thumbs up. This is still the foot. Like nothing you saw on yesterday should change your feelings from this football team from going into the year. If you thought they were going to be a 10-win program, they're still that same football team. If you thought they weren't going to be as good, have they done something to change your mind? I would like to say yes, based on the execution in the second half yesterday. But I think it'd be fair if you're like, I think it'd be fair if you're like, I have to see it against Illinois. But like for me, like this is the team I thought they were, and there are growing pains, and I think you're going to see them grow into it, and I'm really excited.
I need to see Mikhail Kamara step up. That's my closing thought. I just need that D line to really hone it in, get the I know the tackles for loss numbers were up, but Mikhail Kamara specifically, like to see him cause a little bit more havoc and kind of just see him not be so invisible on the field. I want him to kind of stand out a little more, where you kind of watch him line up and you're like, who the hell is that guy? And I'm not getting that vibe right now, and I think it's a fair call out. But yeah, nothing really to be concerned about. I think everything I've said negative is really just nitpicking, and yeah, this team is well in line to get back to 10 wins, go back to the playoff. It's set up for them. This guy go 1 out of 3 in those big games, and I think they should be in. But
I don't even want to talk like that. But
I would. If they want to control their own destiny, obviously they win all those games. But the reality is they're being set up where they really, get up to 10. Should be enough to get in, but 11 would probably seal the deal, and 12 obviously probably gets them a 1 seed. So
yeah, I don't know if it was the tempo or whatnot that was messing with Jamari Sharp this week, but obviously like to see that get cleaned up a little bit. Not to just call him out. The entire you'd like to not see chunk plays through the air on defense like that they were giving
against
up.
Kennesaw State, yeah,
exactly. So that'd be my only nitpick. But obviously, when you win 56-9, you did a lot of things right. So we'll be back on Tuesday night. We're going to preview Indiana State, the Larry Bird revenge game, because Larry Bird was a student at Indiana for about a month, clashed heads with Bobby Knight, and ended up transferring to Indiana State. And he wasn't even on the team long enough to get an Indiana basketball jersey. Trust me, I looked.
Yep. No, it'll be fun to preview. Not going to do a whole ton of research on Indiana State, the football team. I think we'll be talking a lot about Larry Bird and kind of just what we want to see. Yeah, it'll be a fun show on Tuesday, and we'll get after it.
We'll get after it. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. Go Hoosiers. We'll see you guys on Tuesday night.
Peace.
Oh, wait. Follow us on, so please like, comment, share, subscribe to Indiana at the Voice of College Football on YouTube. We have merch. Check out vocfb.com/shop. Check out the Indiana section for Indiana merch. Follow us on socials at Alec Keyser for me, at Bradley_Loomis8 for Goom. Yeah, check out Instagram. Check out all that good stuff. We're releasing videos. We're releasing tweets, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. We'll be back on Tuesday night. Go Hoosiers.